Blog Talk Radio.
From somewhere in the marshy glades of the Chesapeake Bay, in the land of pleasant living, this is the Real-Time Music Network's radio blog, brought to you each and every weeknight at 8 p.m. here on blogtalkradio.com. Here, for the next hour, we'll talk about mainly independent music, with any topic as fair game. Live call-ins are encouraged. To call in, dial 347-308-8792. I'm your host, Lee Townsend. Welcome. Oh yeah. Daggone it. I gotta get some new intro music. No, folks, this is not a New Age show. This is not a show about, hypnosis or anything like that. This is the Real-Time Music Network audio blog show brought to you on Blog Talk Radio here 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. I am, as I introduced myself a few seconds ago, your host, Lee Townsend. Allow myself to introduce myself. We have an interesting show and a great show lined up for you tonight. We have singer-songwriter, award-winning singer-songwriter Tony Denikos on, who is a Maryland native. Looking at his bio, I can read a little bit of his bio from his website, which is www.tonydenikos.com. Maryland native Tony Denikos is one of the Mid-Atlantic region's songwriting treasures, a familiar face on the regional music scene, showcasing his foot-stomping backbeats, engaging melodies, and tastier than Texas barbecue guitar work. He's won the hearts of those who appreciate great songwriting delivered with an honest and authentic voice. Tony's 2009 release, Already Gone, melds true grit Americana with intimate performances. The critically acclaimed CD has been aired by hundreds of radio stations across Europe, North America, Australia, Nose Island. It was number 2 on the Euro Americana charts and number 7 on the Freeform Americana Roots charts in 2010. You can find Tony performing in any number of configurations, from acoustic solo to full-on rock and 5-piece band, from South Carolina to Texas to upstate New York. Tony has just released in the last year his latest work entitled Under the Church. It was the much anticipated follow-up to the critically acclaimed Already Gone. Under the Church goes to places both darker and more lighthearted than his previous releases. It allows Tony to claim his working class roots and reveal his small town disposition. It may well be his best CD to date. In addition to his scheduled performances, he has several release events planned throughout the year, and I'm sure there are new CDs in the work, new music in the works. This is a terrific songwriter. We're a singer-songwriter. We are honored and happy to have him on the show here today. We're going to be playing some tracks from the CD, the latest CD, Under the Church. If you want to call in throughout the course of the show for the next hour, you can dial us up at 347-308-8792 to talk to Tony. And we'll be playing quite a few tracks from the CD tonight. Tony, are you there? Welcome aboard.
Yes, I'm here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, man, we're so happy to have you join us here for our number 2 episode on the Real-Time Music Network Blog Talk Audio Radio Blog Talk Blog Show thing. Tony,
Yep.
tell me about your music. What kind of music? People said it's swampy. What does that mean?
Well, swampy, I think, is a fair assessment of the backbeats and the grooves that I try to cop. You know, I grew up listening to the band and CCR, you know, Dr. John. You know, I just have a lot of influences, I think, from you know, Little Feat was a big influence of mine.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Little George and and all that stuff. So, you know, I just have this, you know, I have a draw, I guess, for this sort of Gulf Coast, New Orleans kind of sound.
Well,
and I just really, you know, there's something about it that just, I think, just sort of loosens you up, makes you feel good. And so I like to use that kind of vibe in a lot of my songwriting.
Well, and that's what we have. The first song that we have queued up to play for the folks tonight is not the title track, but the first cut that's on the Under the Church CD. It's called "High in the Low Country." Now, Tony, I know you when you play, you have a story for just about every song. Would you like to bring us into this one?
Well, the Low Country refers to, I guess, the South Carolina eastern section of South Carolina near the coast. It's where all the rivers kind of head off into the Charleston area, and there's a place just south of Charleston called Edisto that I love to go down and hang out in. I had a show down there scheduled to play. There's Allendale Green is this weekly music community. They get together. They do a show every Wednesday night down there and bring in a bunch of songwriters, local artists, and people that are coming through the area. They call it the Barn Jam at Allendale Green. And I was getting ready to do that show, and I just was thinking about the culture down there and how much I love it and the people and the food. And I just thought I'd ingratiate myself to Southern culture since, you know, born and raised a Maryland boy. And down there, anything north of Richmond's a Yankee, you know. So I thought I'd sort of play up to their sensibilities. And a few minutes later, I had this song, you know. So I went and performed it, and I think I got away with it. And I won a few friends.
Awesome. Well, let's give it a listen right now. High in the Low Country.
When I woke up, my mind was blank, and in my bed looked like a Yankee. And on my hand was a brand new wedding ring. She said, "Good morning, baby, you alright? We got married just last night, and you said I'd always be your Jersey queen." It all came back in such a flash. The airport, Vegas, the bubble bear, the preacher, the chapel, oh, God's true. So I headed back to Charleston town with my brand new bride, and I settled down. What else do you expect a Southern gentleman to do? Yeah, well, Jesus loves, Satan hates. My poor heart just palpitates every time you Southern women cross my mind. I stay as high as I can be down in the low country, singing, "Whoa, sweet Carolina, you're so fine, so fine." Now I get as thirsty as a dying man. All those Southern belles would understand, but that Yankee gal refused to see the light. So I roll out in the A&M to go hunting and fishing with my best friends, but to say what for, well, just wouldn't be polite. When I got home, she'd packed her stuff and bought a ticket for the Greyhound bus. Said she's headed back to Jersey, where she's from. Said you can keep the dogs, the truck, the house, the guns, the boat, and your blessed South. And I thought, about time I had myself some fun. Yeah, Jesus loves and Satan hates, and my poor every time you southern women cross my mind. But I stay as high as I can be down in the low country, singing, "Whoa, sweet Carolina, you're so fine, so fine." Well, here I is in the grand old South, drinking beers and hanging out with the sweetest little girls in all the world. Yeah, we got pecan pie and she crab soup, shrimp and grits and frog most stew. And up north, all they got is foul-mouthed Yankee girls. Yeah, well, Jesus is loving, Satan's hating. Gets palpitating every time you southern women cross my mind. I stay as high as I can be down in the low country, singing, "Whoa, sweet Carolina, whoa, sweet Carolina, whoa, sweet Carolina, you're so
you have it. Tony Denikos, High in the Low Country, first track off the Under the Church CD. Tony, got a question for you.
Sure.
Are you allowed in New Jersey anymore?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I did a show in over on Eastern Shore of Maryland, a place called the Nightcat. Nice little room over there, and performed that song. And when I was done, I asked if there was anybody from New Jersey in the audience, and about 12 hands went up with all these girls from New Jersey. I thought, well, this won't be a social evening later, I reckon. But they seemed to enjoy it. They took it all in stride.
Right on. Tony, we have a caller. Are you taking calls, Mr. Denikos?
Absolutely. How's it going?
Caller, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hello.
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 Hello. How's it going?
Tony, it's John West. How you doing, Lee? Hi, Tony.
Hey, John. How's it going, man?
How you doing?
I told you I'd tune in. I can only get it on my phone now.
Well,
for some reason.
No, it's cool. If you want, we can put you on hold, and you can listen on hold throughout the whole show.
No. Unfortunately, my battery will run out.
Oh, yeah. Well, that happened to me earlier today.
Well, now's the time to. I'll tell you what. If Lee's got me on truth serum, so now's the time to ask the question.
There you go. Yeah. You know what? I want to hear more. Remember we were talking earlier, Lee, about that European thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be the topic of our next segment. So if you want to hang around, we're going to talk a little bit about Tony's history, where he came from, and the life of a troubadour, which, John, you and I came up kind of in a band culture. Tony is used to hoofing it on himself, traveling, by himself and traveling light. And we're going to talk about that and play another track from the CD. And then we're going to talk about Europe. So if you want to hang.
Absolutely. The tunes sound good, Tony. They really do.
Hey, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right. John, I'm going to put you on hold so you can listen, and
Yeah, man, go ahead.
We're going to talk about Tony's. Tony, did you see Roots?
I'm sorry?
Did you see the movie Roots?
No.
No, we're talking about your roots. Tell me about the young troubadour Tony Denikos.
Well, I was influenced a lot by my dad growing up. He's a big music fan. I was just listening a little earlier to some old Ray Charles tunes from his country western album, like I Can't Stop Loving You and You Don't Know Me, and some of those classic hits. And Louis Jordan and Johnny Cash, Roger Miller, just on and on. Driving along.
Is that old-time Americana music?
I'm sorry?
Is that old-time Americana music?
It's basically the beginning. I think the roots, if you will, the seeds were planted. I think back then for a lot of people that were coming up, that was listening to music and wanted to start to emulate. I mean, what would Roger Miller be today? He's not country, he's not rock. Johnny Cash, these guys certainly would be. I think the people that all the way back to really Woody Guthrie and then Hank Williams. I mean, they was country, but it was about stuff that was real. It was about songs that related to everyday life and the real rootsy kind of down to earth feel, and all these different influences. I think were picked up on by writers in the 70s and late 60s, 70s, and next thing CCR and the Eagles and different folks. And yeah, certainly I think there's a line straight on back to it.
And then where did Tony step on stage?
Well, I was in the elementary school and had a gal, Mrs. Tremarchi, music teacher. I was influenced by a teacher. I was in music class. She heard my voice. She asked me to sing a little bit for the class, and I did. And they put together a little, I guess it was six vocalists, and we traveled around the state of Maryland.
Wow.
Doing John B. Sale and, Red Light, Green Light. So we started off doing a lot of folk tunes, stuff from Peter, Paul, and Mary, and, stuff like that. And
that's where you were hooked, right?
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, I just really enjoyed performing. I think the first time I sang in front of a few hundred people, I did Raindrops Keep Falling from My Head.
Excellent choice.
I sang that song, yeah. So, and I loved it, and I remember how much I enjoyed performing and how much I really enjoyed everybody coming up and congratulating me and telling me how much they enjoyed it. I knew that it was for me. I just loved it.
Well, so far you've talked about performing other people's music, and somewhere along the line a poetic bug got in you and you started turning out your own stuff. Can we fast forward to that?
Yeah, I guess I started writing when I was 14 or 15 years old. I started writing, I think, really personal stuff, really. I wrote a song called U40 Blues. I wrote a couple of other tunes, some little tender puppy love type songs that I actually will still perform. One of the first songs that I wrote and performed live, I performed it in front of several hundred people at a high school. I was in a pretty big high school down in Laurel, Maryland. It was a song called Baby Jane, and went out and performed it, and I just immediately, as much as I enjoyed doing other people's stuff, earlier in my life in front of audiences, the notion that I was relating to people and they were getting where I was coming from, and I was sort of touching something in them,
yeah,
was just something else. It was, it was a barrier breaker for me. I was kind of a shy kid that was sort of like a show off at the same time, if that makes any sense. So that was really cool for me, and I was hooked on it. I really just pretty much would pop out a few tunes, a week, and just by the time I was 17 or 18, I had been in a band. I was playing bass in a band, a little band called Hat Trick around Laurel, a little local. Played a few places in Maryland here and there, and but I really wanted to just grab my guitar and head on down to Norfolk and start playing my stuff, and so I'd go out to this pub down there and playing for very little money. At least not much has changed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but played basically for beers and food and tips, and played 5-6 nights a week. But the cool thing was I could do 20 of my original songs and 20 songs from other artists that I liked. John Prine was a big influence, again, Lowell George and those kind of guys, Neil Young, and mostly what I would call Americana artists, and sort of supplement what I'm doing. And it was fun to try to figure out if I could fool the audience into thinking that one of mine was one of theirs and vice versa. And so, I was just hooked. I just loved the idea of sitting there and telling stories about either an emotional journey I'd been on or something that actually happened to me, or making up a story about something that would help me relate the way I was feeling to other people. It was just wonderful.
And that's what I've noticed has been with a lot of folks, that you do touch with your lyric content especially. First off, the music just sounds familiar, which is good. People can relate to the music right off the bat. The real strength, you have some pretty. Some of your lyric content can be pretty incisive. You don't pull any punches, that's for sure. You speak I think you speak your soul in a lot of the music that you write, and you balance that out. You have that unique ability to balance that out with lighthearted and stuff that kind of makes you crack a little smile. We're going to hear tunes from both ends of the spectrum throughout the show here. So you kind of cut your teeth and you got to get it going down in Norfolk, and then hone your skills, and then just decided to say, the heck with it all, I'm coming back to Maryland, I'm going to record CDs. Is that how it happened?
Well, pretty much. I was bouncing around, early 20s. I was taking courses here and there in college. One of those guys that took 7 years to get an AA degree. You know what I mean? Played more gigs than I spent time studying.
Right.
And so, as I was just bouncing around playing music, and I was walking down the street one day in Laurel, on Main Street actually, and a buddy of mine asked me if I'd do a charity gig. And I said, sure, and he said it's a charity gig. It's for people, that are in halfway houses, et cetera. Some people had substance problems, and I said, well, I'd written a song that might be, that they might be able to relate to, a song called Save Me. This is, I don't know, 15 years ago, and heck, maybe even longer than that. But at any rate, walked down the street, guy said, hey, man, do it. And I said, no problem. I played the gig, and it turns out it was some kind of contest. I had no idea, And long story short, I wound up getting studio time and some money eventually from the gig, and so I went in and started recording, and of course I recorded that song on my first record. It was called Naked and Smiling, and the song was called Save Me, and so that's how I got into recording. Really was just basically played a charity gig, and it turned into making records. And once I started making records, I was really hooked on that. I mean, I really enjoyed doing that, and the response I got was a little overwhelming, and met a lot of really great people, some wonderful producers and musicians, and this business is kind of funny. It's just one thing leads into another. You never really know where you're going to wind up, but opportunities sort of pop up, and you just I figured out early on, yes is a really good word.
Well, sure enough is. We have all queued up to play the title track from, this is your fourth CD now, right? The Under the Church. That is your fourth. I mean, I was looking at your discography, and you have 6 listed on your bio, but I think 2 of them are compilations. This is your first, your fourth all Tony CD.
That's right. This is the fourth CD that's all Tony Denikos songs. I've been included on a number of compilations, some for mental illness, to raise money for mental illness, and I can't really remember what the other compilation disc was about. But so yeah, this is my fourth record.
Oh, it's awesome, and it's called Under the Church. You can get it. You can order it in our web store, rt-music.net. Just go to the store button and click on CDs, and it's in there. And there's a really good review of the CD in there, which is under the reviews button. Tony, the Under the Church. I mean, okay, with the earlier song, you took a poke at Jersey Girls. Kind of take a poke at organized religion in Under the Church, or am I missing the point?
I think you're. I'm using, I think, the notion of it's really more of a stab at mendacity. You know, it's my crack at people and their I think attempt to mask themselves. Okay, so. Under the Church, really just the church being, and I use the metaphor of the folks sitting in a pew, putting on their brave face, you know, and trying to act like they got it all together. And deep down, you know, we all know, I think, there's a part of all of us. It's what makes us human, really, that's vulnerable and afraid, a little afraid, and needs a little bit of reassuring. And I think there's a little part of us deep down that's, you know, a little lonesome, and that's why it's important that we have each other, right? So,
right on,
reaching out, and that's what's so cool about, I think, songwriting is it bridges that, right? But so it's really not so much a crack at religion per se, but rather I think the disposition that people try to hide behind, you know,
right? So
they put on a face. And it's really, the songs are really about what we're feeling way deep down. And again, this was one of those songs where I sort of created this metaphor based on just the way I was feeling one day.
Tony Denikos, Under the Church.
Up in the pew, we all smell so sweet. Nodding our heads like we know what it means, and the preacher's so stoic, and the children all sing, and everything's perfect. And it don't mean nothing, 'cause under the church we're tragic cartoons, hiding our bones inside of our tombs. And it is like it is, for better or worse, life is for real. In the graveyard, covered in mud, we're biting our lips till we're spitting out blood, and we spend our lives naked, putting on airs with the murmurs and moans of a billion hearts beating in their prisons of stone. Under the church, tragic cartoons hiding our bones, side of our tombs, and it is like this, for better or worse, life is for real. Down under down under the church, down under the church, down under the church.
Tony Denikos, title track from Under the Church, his fourth and latest CD. Tony, it's got some insightful, inviting lyrics. It really does. It engages people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much of your material has, and it has not only in the Maryland area that you play, but all worldwide. And
cool.
We're gonna, you've gotten a fair amount of play in Europe. And John, you're back with us.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. John, you have maybe you guys can talk a little bit about Europe, the European connection, how you got played in Europe, and so forth and so on. Would you guys take it?
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Hey, how's it going? So, I had a radio campaign that I embarked upon. And I hooked up with this European Americana chart for any singer-songwriters out there. It's a group of, 100 or so DJs, writers, etc. Throughout Europe that are just crazy about Americana music, that just absolutely love it. And so, you contact these people. They're very open. They're very welcoming. Send emails, let them know that I had a CD out and would they like to check it out, And I sent the music over, and they gave it a listen, and they responded. I started this campaign really with my second CD was Time Tells Tales, and followed it up with when I got out, Already Gone a few years later, and they just really took me under their wing and started spinning my stuff over there, and particularly in the Netherlands, Belgium. I had Italy, London, Scotland and Ireland, I think, played a song called Norfolk Town off of Already Gone, which is basically the story of what I was described earlier, how I went down to Norfolk and came back home. That made national radio over there. So it was kind of cool, just the way I was welcomed, and people wrote about it. I got a lot of nice reviews. And followed it up again a few years later with Under the Church, and once again got a really nice response. I actually got a chance to meet a few of the DJs that came over to South by Southwest in Austin, and hooked up with a guy from France, really nice guy. He called himself the Frenchie. Michael Pinard over there spins my stuff in out of France, and it was just been a wonderful experience, So I'm trying to set up a little trip to go over there in a few months, and looks like we might be able to pull something together here and play in the Netherlands and in Belgium, and maybe swing down to a little northern Germany or Denmark or something like that.
John, I know you said you wanted to talk about Europe a little bit. Is there any specific questions or anything you had in mind?
Yeah. I know we talked about it a little bit today. I was curious, Tony. What is the name? I couldn't remember the name of the organization that you were talking about.
The Euro Americana.
Yeah. Yeah, the people that you kind of hooked up with, that kind of.
Oh, it's the Songs and Whispers. No, Tony just turned me on to them, and I don't think you haven't done anything with those folks, have you yet, Tony?
Not quite yet. No.
Okay.
Initial contact, and so just started talking to them. Got our feelers out with a couple of different organizations. That's one of them, and that could be a pretty cool. The thing is that there's really enthusiastic people over there that just love americana music, and are all about promoting it and getting it going and stuff. So that's one of several organizations we've been in contact with to sort of help to get things going and maybe set up.
Yeah, I'll pass that on, because I have some friends up here in Philly that they're basically an Americana kind of a deal too. So I'm sure they'll be interested in
absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll have a hands across the water kind of deal. You never know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Skipping across the pond.
Man, that's a long skip, I'll tell you that much. I went there and I've never been so cramped in my life. Anyway, but it was a great experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it over there. And you're right, the culture is different, and they do. And John, you and I were talking about it earlier today. They really seem to be a lot more supportive of music. The socialist government financing notwithstanding, just in general, people seem to be more open to independent music and just really new things. And this is something we're aiming to change here on this side of the pond.
You got that right.
Tony, yeah. We're going to move along here. We're actually running short on time, Tony. I thought we'd come up shy on things, but we're going to have to pick it up here. John, would you care to stay on the line? We're going to put you on in mute there. We're going to talk about Tony.
Actually, I got to go, but I just wanted to call in and say hi, and Lee, will talk soon, and Tony, best of luck to you.
Sounds great, brother.
Thanks, brother. Nice talking to you.
All right, bud. You too. Take care.
Thanks for calling, John.
Bye-bye.
All right, Lee. See you.
Yeah. Cool. Tony?
Yeah.
You've won some pretty heavy hitter awards lately. You want to talk about them?
Sure, man. I always like talking about winning awards, man. Well, I did a song. It started a few years back. Really, like I said, when I won the, I started winning studio time and stuff like that a few years back. And then about 5 years ago, when Already Gone came out, We Are Listening noted a song called Home for Christmas. It's on that record as a top 5 in this worldwide songwriting contest. Then just recently, a couple of months ago, I won the Mid-Atlantic Songwriter contest with a song called Tip of My Tongue, which is a really stripped-down folk tune. It's just me, guitar, and an accordion. Wonderful player, local guy, Brian Sims, wonderful keyboardist, and fronts a couple of bands himself. He played accordion on it. And so that won an award. They won grand prize, actually, for the best song in the contest. Yeah,
awesome. Really you want to tell us what it's about, and then we'll go ahead and spin it?
Tip of My Tongue? Sure.
Yeah.
It's the song is wow. That I've got parents that are my number one fans, and they're actually, my dad's in his 80s, my mother's in their 70s. If she hears this, she's going to kill me for mentioning that. But they had a tough couple of years, and I had to spend a lot of time visiting them in hospitals and stuff. As my mother fell down a flight of stairs and had to go through rehabs. At the same time, I tweaked my back on one of my trips down to the Low Country. While I was down there, I tweaked my back pretty good and came back home. I got stuck down there for a couple of days. By the time I came home, all the experiences of the hospitals, the people I'd seen, and my own confrontation with basically being stuck. I was stuck in a house in South Carolina by myself, barely able to move for about 3 or 4 days. And so by the time I got home, I just had this song inside me. And The Tip of My Tongue is really another one of those songs where I created this storyline to sort of express the loneliness. And I just think some of the challenges of growing old, And so I wrote a song about a fella who's in a home trying to remember the name of his only true love. And so it's the name of the girl who he loved is on the tip of his tongue. That's pretty much.
She was soft as the moonlight in her cinnamon hair, and her eyes always doting on me. And when I was a young man, oh, I'd hold her right here. There was nothing more precious to me. I can still feel her essence, I can still taste her kiss, though my senses have long ago waned. It's the cruelest of thievery that's reduced me to this, and left my mind begging her name. My memories fade like the names on the graves of lovers from yesterday's gone. And I'm sitting here broken with an ache in my heart, and the name of my darling on the tip of my tongue. She was proud, she was fierce, she was laughter and tears, she was all that ever I'd need. She was right and I was wrong, then she was gone and left me alone here to bleed. And I hear that she married, raised up a son, but for me it just weren't in the plans. And I can't think of anything I might have done to avoid or deserve where I am. My memories fade like the names on the grave of lovers from yesterday's gone. And I'm sitting here broken with an ache in my heart, and the name of my darling on the tip of my tongue. And if life is the memories we've made, does it end once they've withered away? On a good day, I'm back there in the sun and the sand, carefree and carrying on. But mostly I sit here with a blank, empty stare, conscious of all that is gone. And my memory is fading like the names on the graves of lovers from yesterday's gone. And I'm sitting here broken with an ache in my heart, and the name of my darling on the tip of my tongue, and a girl who once loved me on the tip of my tongue.
Tony Denikos, Tip of My Tongue, award-winning Song of the Year, gold plate. What's it called? The grand prize?
I guess it was the grand prize winner of the Mid-Atlantic Songwriters Contest.
Awesome. We're really happy for you, Tony, and congratulations on the award, and many more to come to you, my friend.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. It was an honor.
Yeah, we've mentioned that you've got 4 CDs. Where can people get them?
Well, there's a number. You can get them all on iTunes. You can download them right on iTunes. They're in CD Baby, Amazon.com. I guess Rhapsody. I mean, there's just a number of any digital download. Just about will have them, and also the sites you mentioned earlier.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, we only have so far a stock of the Under the Church CDs. Excuse me.
We'll have to remedy that.
We'll have to remedy that, and we'll be happy to promote it. There's some great tunes, Tony. A lot of the songs have a social statement and something like that, and some of them are just kind of plain and simple, and like I said, like kind of funny. Put a little smile on your face. I've got one little track. We're running short on time. We've got 3 tracks left. I did want to get this little lighthearted ditty in there, the ditty. Can you?
I know which one you're going to do.
Can you bring us into that a little bit?
If it's Bad Boys Blues, right?
It is.
Is that the one? And in parentheses, Susie's song. So Susie is a house concert presenter. House concerts, incidentally, for your listeners, and are just a wonderful place to. You can look them up online, find out about them. Just Google it, And but house concerts are people open up their homes to traveling troubadours like myself who happen to be in the area and schedule themselves in. You'd be surprised at the quality of some of the folks that are cruising around doing these things. Like Lowen and Navarro, of course. Lowen passed on last year, but Dan Navarro is still performing solo shows. Of the Walking on the Wire fame, and anyways, they do house concerts. So just this gal Susie does this wonderful house concert in Gambrills, Maryland, and she's a folkie, but she's a rather vocal and loud folkie. So I told her that she was a bad girl. She was just a naughty little folkie, and so I wrote this little song with her in mind. It's called Bad Boys Blues.
Took me for a ride in a little red truck just to teach me a thing or two. But I don't learn nothing about nothing. She thinks I'm a fool. Left me sitting on the side of the road with the wish there was a bad boy blue. Met me a girl named Susie, she was a naughty thing. Took her for a walk where the oil trees just to try to make me sing. I don't know nothing about singing, I can barely carry a tune. Left me sitting like a lump on a log with the wish there was a bad boy blue. I don't know nothing about nothing. She said that's true. How would you know? Come a baby with a daddy and a shotgun too. Standing me up for the preacher man with the wish there'd been a good boy blue. Standing me up for the preacher man with the wish there'd been a good boy blue. Standing me up for the preacher man with the wish there'd been a good boy blue.
Bad Boy Blues. Tony Denikos here on the Real Time Music Network. Tony, song?
Yes, sir.
We're running short on time. We had 2 more songs queued up. We've got about 6.5 minutes left in the show. I'm going to let it be Songwriter's Choice.
Why don't we go ahead and do When the Morning Comes? It's a song
Oh, you're awesome.
Yeah, it's a song. I know you like that song, Lee.
Yeah, right on.
And I got some friends out there that might be listening that are fond of it as well. So,
all right, here we go. When the Morning Comes, Tony Denikos.
I don't need a perfect lover, don't believe in paradise, and I don't need to know where you are every single day, or even every single night. There's just one thing that I gotta know, just one thing I need to say. When the morning comes, want you there beside me. When the morning comes, hold you in my arms. When the morning comes, look you in the eye, and know every little thing will be alright. And I don't need you to love me forever, don't believe in promises, and I don't think it gets any better than a tender smile or an honest kiss. And I don't care about your yesterday. Tomorrow's still a tale untold. Oh, when the morning comes, want you there beside me. When the morning comes, look you in the eye, I know every little thing will be alright.
Tony Denikos, When the Morning Comes, from the Under the Church CD, here on the Real Time Music Network. Tony, we've got about a minute and a half. What's in the future, real quickly, for Tony Denikos?
Well, we talked a little bit about trying to set something up in Europe. I started writing again, and I've just written a couple of songs that I'm pretty excited about that I'm itching to record. There's a song called that I think is actually, I'm not exactly sure what the title is. It's a blues song. I think it's called Chainsaw Blues. And so I'm going to be doing some recording. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit of touring, just locally around the mid-Atlantic region. And just staying busy. I got a gig coming up this Saturday, actually, then the Creative Cauldron, Falls Church, Virginia, Saturday night. And,
folks can
so that'll
see
be
where
cool.
They can see where you're playing. You have your schedule up on your website, www.
Schedule's on my website. That's right. Tony Denikos, DENIKOS.com. Just go to live shows, and you can see what I got planned for the next couple of months.
Awesome. Tony, thank you so much for being our first guest on the show. Episode number 2, but our first guest.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah, much luck to you, and much fortune to you in your future endeavors. Thank you again so much. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow night. Bobby Hurd will be our guest tomorrow evening. Our focus star is tomorrow night. Thanks a lot. Peace out. And I am going to get some new music. All right, Tony, we're clear. You still there?
Yeah.
Cool.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it went very well. We are still recording the show just for the archive. Even though we're off the air right now, the recording is still going on. It'll be available now. Is there other things you want to talk about for a few minutes for those who download the episode afterwards?
I would like to say that the backing band on No Way Home, which is on Under the Church, and the Bad Boys Blues, which you heard some wonderful fiddle playing and banjo and stand-up bass, and so there's a band, a little trio, folk trio by the name of the Stray Birds, which one of the records, NPR's Top 10 Americana Records of the Year, came out last year.
Awesome.
So, and I just wanted to mention them, give them a little bit of
shout out.
Yeah, a little shout out, a little plug. They're very, they're just great writers. And
you've done some house concerts. You've done some house concerts.
Yeah, I did a house concert with them recently. I think at Susie's house.
Oh, right.
And we did Susie. Yeah. Excuse me, we did Bad Boys Blues, and Susie I thought she was going to die. She was so happy.
Those videos, I think those videos are up on YouTube, aren't they? Some of them?
Yeah, that's right. I think there is a video of us doing that song on YouTube.
We should have mentioned that on the air.
Yeah, it's I got a couple. You know, I mean, some artists you're a little uptight. I'm pretty cool with whatever. You know, I figure, you know, if somebody likes me enough to record me, wants to go ahead and put it up on the air, then by golly, I typically will go ahead and say go ahead. You know, and that was one
absolutely.
of them. Pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, as an added bonus track for our folks that are listening to the art show right now, do you want to go ahead and do the Popeye song?
I Am What I Am?
Yeah.
Is that the song you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song. That's a song about my mom and my dad growing up. It's basically a tribute to them, and they came up the hard way, earned $1 the hard way, and I owe everything that I am to them.
Awesome. I am what I am.
My mom was born down in Missouri. Her papa's gone when she was 5. Her mama brought her to the East Coast where they found a way to stay alive. They'd get up early every morning, make $1 with their hands. Found a way to scratch a living, did it all without a man. Said I am what I am, and I do like I say. You can call me what you like, you don't have to call it all. Don't make no never minds of me. And I am what I am, and I'll be what I'll be. Tell the man that I've been drinking rye whiskey, pissing all and whistling Dixie to the king. My daddy's born down in the city, born in 1933. His mama couldn't speak no English. She was proud and she was free. His papa died in 37. Left them struggling on their own. Got on the boat, a band of dreamers. Just like that, the dream was gone. Said I am what I am, and I do like I say. You can call it what you like, you don't have to call it all. Don't make no never mind with me. Well, I am what I am, and I'll be what I'll be. You tell the man that I've been drinking rye whiskey, pissing on and whistling Dixie to the king. My mama held me in a fierce loving eye, said, boy, you better listen what I say. We've been scratching and clawing for it all. Let them take your dreams away. Say I am what I am. If they ever find a jury, sons of sinners just like me, you could throw me in a deep dark hole, but in the end I'll still be free. I ain't surrendering to Wall Street, politicians all be damned. Man, I ain't backing down from nothing. I'm stepping up to make a stand. And I am what I am,
I am what I am, not I am what I am. Sorry, Tony. I don't mean to be disrespectful in anything.
Not at all, man. I almost named it I Am What I Am, but I stopped in time.
Tony Denikos, thank you so much for being our guest here on the Real Time Music Network, on Blog Talk Radio. The show will be archived, and if you're listening to it now, to the after-show chat, then you already know all that. Tony's website again, www.tonydenikos.com, Denikos.com, and our website, www.rt-music.net, the Real Time Music Network. Thanks again, Tony. Much success to you, my brother.
Thank you so much. The pleasure was mine. To all your listeners out there, thanks for tuning in.
Rock and roll, man. Thanks. Take it easy.
Take care.